Check it out, people. Zest for Life, aka Fresh Mark Sense. Now, I have got a box full of deodorant. Now, why are we talking about deodorant? Because freshness starts from the inside out. It starts from how you wake up, how you have a shower, then wear some deodorant, and then a perfume, and have a great attitude before you go out. So, let's start this with the old school. Yes, we have Brute Antiperspirant Deodorant. You may have smelt this before. This is a classic barber shop. We have all sorts of scents in deodorant, all the way to the more, uh, avant-garde, the special ones like mandarin, lime, and vanilla. Um, but they all have aluminium in. So we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We are talking about the aluminium free deodorants. So that previous generation has served us very well, but aluminium free deodorants mean that when you're sweating, you may not have a cyst or a spot from blocked pores of sweat. And this can be a very painful spot or cyst underneath your arm. And this can happen when you're training a lot and you're blocking your pores with aluminium based deodorants. So, the first one that I tried out of all them, the UK based deodorants, is Dr. Squatch. And I started with Coconut Castaway. Coconut Castaway, you can tell by this. I mean, it's coconut, almond, and vanilla. And you could tell by this that I've used the whole thing. So it's empty, and we just have this little cap. But in terms of practicality, this is a very practical shape whereby you can use the whole deodorant stick, because this is made in a way that you can wipe even the cap on yourself once you finish the whole stick. So top marks for economy, practicality, but price. Well, we said economy, but you know, the price is really level with this company, Vico, that makes slightly more out there fragrances. Dr. Squatch make the most masculine fragrances, I'd say, that always work well on men. Vico makes some out there fragrances like this Pina Colada fragrance. Uh, so, Dr. Squatch, let's talk about the scent. We talked about scent is masculine. We talked about the application. That is like quite pasty, and you can use it. You can actually pick it up with your fingers, squish it into a base, and use it directly on your armpits. And what would happen, the way that these are used, rather than trying to absorb the sweat there and then, they are used once when you sweat, so they allow you to sweat. They have arrowroot, which is supposed to reduce sweating. And once the sweat is gone, once you've actually sweated, they turn the sweat into a more acceptable scent, let's say, which is either the pina colada or these other scents like alpine sage, which is cypress, sage, and cedarwood, I believe. Yeah. So this is a very masculine, woody, warm, fresh scent, like a mountain trail. This is a warm mountain trail. I like this for a more herbal, woody finish. It's quite nice. This is it'll go well with most men. It's quite wearable for most men, and it covers up BO quite strong, in the way that it has that herbal sage note. Whereas this coconut castaway, it kind of goes with the BO smell and turns it into an almond smell rather than sour. So this goes for somebody who'd have a very sour BO. The herbal note would cover it, and for people who have more cacao and sort of different scent with their body odor, this would actually change it to a sweeter scent. So there's different things that they do. They don't just try and force over the scent with a butch masculine scent like black smoke and leather or something. You know, they're trying different things with Dr. Squatch. In terms of the application of Vico, this is one of the best applicators that it doesn't break off or turn into a. I can't turn this into a paste. This is very solid on the bar, and it wipes off very nicely, producing minimal grease. Uh, Actually, it has a slight greasy layer, but not as much as Wild, which is the other. This is actually this the highest price one, I believe. I think these are all. Oh no, wait, these are all pretty much the same price. Dr. Squatch, Wild, and Vico. I think Vico was slightly less actually, but Wild and Dr. Squatch were pretty much exactly the same in terms of price. They offer a smaller deodorant, however, they have it's less price for the deodorant refills. And then we get to the lowest price of all of them, which is Fussy. The second lowest price, actually. Sorry, I was going to talk about Wild. They had a Rainforest Oasis, which is very nice. It's a very nice scent, but I wish they'd done more masculine scents. They don't have many scents that are applicable for men or that you'd feel comfortable wearing as a man because they got like buttercup cream and more floral. Even the buttercup cream, which is supposed to be um, unisex, they added a floral aspect to it, which sort of pushed men out of that market. So Wild is pretty good. Got great presentation. I love the case. It's the most solid case. I love this nice little design. It's very nice. But for not creating that many scents for men, it's kind of not my favorite compared to Squatch. Um, and now Fussy. This is I find this very refreshing. The basil, mandarin orange, and lime. So it's like a mojito deodorant. This is fantastic. It lasts for a long time. It's got no problem keeping in this container. If anything, it does apply quite well. It is quite greasy, but it makes up for that in terms of sweat retention. Um, Very nice. The cheapest one of the lot, Fussy. The second cheapest, actually, because the cheapest is. The cheapest of all of them is, let's get in a row, green soap. Marcel's green soap, argan and oud deodorant stick. Now this is a little bit old school and it's £4 rather than £6. But I think it goes for £6, right about that now maybe. So it's about £1 cheaper than the rest. So it is cheaper, but I like the smell of it. The argan oil is more present than the oud. However, it is a nice sort of patchouli oud scent with argan oil. Very applicable for men, very wearable, and I think it is a bit powdery. So this is probably the worst texture of all of them, but it's not even that bad. It's more like powdery melted lipstick. So you could still take this. You could take the cream off or the the deodorant off like wax, and you can apply it onto your skin. But it's not too bad. It's not flaky or anything. I'd say that Dr. Squatch actually has more of a flaky texture, but it applies much smoother. And this applies a little bit dry last time I tried it. Yeah, just a little bit dry, but it's okay for people who aren't used to having a grease under their armpit, which would later dry. So it is quite fresh. It is quite fresh. It's feeling quite dry underneath when I actually apply it. It's nice. So this is the cheapest one from the UK, and they're all pretty good. I'm quite happy with the selection of products from the UK. It makes you quite proud that the UK is actually trying to do something and move forward in terms of healthy products for the people and trying to make them affordable. Out of all of these, I would say Fussy is my go-to because of price, best for price and value, and it's a very solid case. And my favorite in terms of scents is probably Dr. Squatch, followed by Vico, and then Wild is my second favorite just because the case and that the refills are very compact, so you don't feel that you're carrying too much with you. You could just have the refills and one case. Leave refills in different houses wherever you're going, and you'll be fine. So, whatever you do, people, stay free and stay fresh. Oi. Let me know if there's any other UK based deodorant companies because I'm very interested in it and I think it's great that the UK has more choice for its customers. Stay fresh, people.